Hey, there you are, and welcome to My Dude Watch. My name is Jason, and wait till you see what we have in store for you today. I waited a long time for this banger. How long? Stay tuned. Okay, time's a ticking. Grab a snack, pull up a chair, and let's talk watches. We are just about ready to roll, but before we do, let's do a really quick wrist check. You are looking at the Duxo Henry Diver. It is a beautiful sea blue. It's got a wave design dial. This is an automatic diver with 200 meters of water resistance. I just love wearing it, and I think you would too. If you're familiar with Helm divers, then you are familiar with their reputation. These guys are the perfect example of what a true microbrand really is. They only make a limited number of watches in each of their styles, so they are really hard to get. And unless you're willing to buy one on the used market and overpay for as much as double the retail price, you're going to be on a waiting list. And a waiting list is where this guy came from. I waited a long time, nearly 4 years to get this watch, but it's finally here. Let's start and we'll address the name, the Helm Khuraburi. This watch is named for a small coastal town in southern Thailand. It's known for some of the best diving in the world. It's just a quick boat ride to the Surin Islands, and now you know. All right, we are ready to break this watch down, and we're going to do so with a very comprehensive review, and we'll start with the tail of the tape. This dive watch is built like a tank, and it marches in at 42 millimeters in diameter with a lug-to-lug of 49 millimeters. The case thickness is 16 millimeters and the lug width is 22 millimeters. So it is a big boy. I mean, just take a look at the great wrist presence you get while wearing this diver. The case is crafted with 316L stainless steel and it's very nicely brushed. It has an overall clean appearance. Looking at the watch from the profile view, you get to see a nice round or bowl shape to it, which leads into the flat downward turned lugs. This watch, although hefty, will drape down your wrist with that aggressive turn down. There are also drilled lug holes here, which, as you know, makes the strap changes easier. I can honestly say that this watch wears smaller than I thought it would. The weight is extremely well balanced. Like everything on this diver, you get an oversized 8mm crown. This crown is unguarded, which allows it to be gripped easily, whether you are wearing gloves, have dry hands, or even wet hands. Take a closer look at the crown. You can see the signature logo right there in the middle. Let's give it a turn and check out the time functions. This really is so easy to operate. I do like the positioning at the 4 o'clock as well. Now let's push up to the top of the watch and look straight down. It's just a confident feeling that this dive watch is indestructible and will perform at a very high level. Here you can get a really nice look at the crown. It looks large, almost imposing in some ways. The case is well brushed on the top of the lugs and it looks great. You get a nice piece of sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating. Before we get into the dial, let's move to the bottom of the case and take a look at the screw-down case back. This is a solid offering. Take a look at the depth of the engravement. You get the Helm logo right there in the middle, and around the outer edges you get a few specs, including the acknowledgement that this diver is ISO certified to 300 meters. Let's go back up to the top of the case and talk about this bezel. It's a 120-click unidirectional rotating bezel with a ceramic bezel insert. Not only does it look great, but I can tell you undeniably it's the best bezel I have ever utilized. Let's give it a turn. You can hear the fine-tuned machine just clicking along. It has a very distinctive click, I think. I like the amount of tension you get with the bezel as well. It's not overly tough, but you won't bump it and worry about it moving. And the bezel perfectly lines up, and there is absolutely no backplay. It's a nice and tight click action. The bezel frames this dial into place nicely. Now, there's a lot going on here, and everything about this dial is extra. And I mean that in the nicest way. For example, take a look at the hour markers. They are extremely wide and filled with lume. I really like the split hour markers on the 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock positions. Take a look at the hands. Again, they are much thicker than you might think you need, and they are also filled with lume. Helm included a thin black outline on the hands, and I think that adds to the structure of the overall appearance. The minute hand is a nice bright orange, and the hour hand is white to match the hour markers, and the minute track around the outside, it's orange as well. And here you can see the Helm logo right there underneath the 12 o'clock position. This is a simplicity about the logo that I really like. They didn't try to overdo it or make it larger than it needed to be. And just above the 6 o'clock position is a diver's 300 meters certification and the word automatic. Overall, this dial just screams legibility, whether you're deep sea diving or just sitting at the house. I think it's important to point out that Helm deserves credit for keeping the dial simple. There's no unnecessary words or complicated designs here. This speaks to the importance of legibility to Helm. Now, what about the movement that's in this old workhorse? Well, a pretty familiar one. It's the NH38 automatic movement. I won't spend much time on this movement because you all know what you get. The NH38 is the movement similar to the NH35, only there's no date complication. Let's talk through the bracelet and then the anticipated Lume test. This is a thick, well-constructed, and tough bracelet. It's 316L stainless steel and designed to experience the harsh realities that can occur when deep sea diving. This is a robust 3-link bracelet with solid links and solid end links. It has full brushed finish and 22 millimeters wide. Take a closer look at the thickness of this bracelet. It's 4.2 millimeters thick. It has a great security clasp as well, and it's perfect for these heavier watches. The Khuraburi also comes with a strong NATO strap. The reputation of the Helm diver is one to have superior lume. They call it the flashlight of watches. So let's cut the lights and do a lume check. You are seeing this nearly an hour after shutting the lights down. It still blows like a torch. I have no doubt this lume will easily last most of the night, if not all night. This is for a normal room light without the effort of charging it properly. You've reached the part of the video where we put it all together and try to make sense of it all. We like to call this segment Gripes and Likes. And we'll start with the gripes, and this won't take long. Number one, the thickness of the case. It is a thick case, but it's a big watch, and a lot of the guys with the smaller wrists may have a little trouble with it. And number two, now I realize this is nitpicking, so it's not so much as a gripe, but I wish it had a diver's extension. The truth is, I really can't find anything to gripe about at this price point for this watch. So let's talk about what we like about it. The cost. For about $300, you get more watch than any other watch I can think of in this price point. I wouldn't have complained if it was a $500 watch. And number two, the dial. Helm didn't try to overcomplicate it or overcrowd it. It's legible and simplistic. Number three, the build quality. This watch is strong, tough, and durable. And number four, the lume. It's unbelievably strong and long-lasting. There's a lot to like about this watch. I could go on and on. So, do we recommend it? Oh yeah. This is an incredible watch that we talked about today. We'll put a link in the description just in case you want to go investigate it and see what it's all about. If you want it, you're going to have to get on a waiting list though. Hey, you made it to the end of another video. Thank you for doing that. We really appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed what you saw today, please take the time to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It'll take you just a second, but it really does help. Okay, I've been told it's time to wrap it up, so we're going to close the show. But thanks again for watching. My name is Jason with My Dude Watch, and we'll see you next time. But wait, don't forget, dudes can't be late.